Good morning, students. I'm Purnima and I welcome you all to my English class. Now, student, I'm going to continue the same lesson. Yvonne tries an O-level. As I told you, Yvonne was a prisoner and he had prepared hard for his German O-level examination. Now, the governor of the Oxford jail, even he was interested that Yvonne should give the examination. He talked with the secretary of the examination. And finally, he had given order that Yvonne can give the examination on O-level German. He had also arranged an invigilator for him. On the day of the examination, everything was checked thoroughly. Under the surveillance of the governor, the examination started, and then even he was examined by the two officers that whether he had bought anything. Like children, he was found McClary was having a paper cutter, so everything was taken. Though McClary did not like it, but they were helpless. The two prison officers, even they were given orders, because it was not that they were suspecting McClary, but it was that suppose if Yvonne makes imposters, then what he can do to him. Well, so, children, I'm here is page number 75. Okay, children, 74. I'm going to start with page number 74. And from here, the 2-hour examination was scheduled to start at 9:15 a.m. Now they are going to do 2-hour examination was scheduled to start at 9:15 a.m. Yvonne was foaming his face briskly when Stephens brought in 2 small square tables and set them opposite each other in the narrow space between the bunk on one side. Now, children, I think I've told you this also, that 2 hard chairs were put, where in one chair who was supposed to sit if the examinee, and in other chair it was invigilator was supposed to sit. Both were introduced with each other, and now it was a bit late because even McClary was called for frisking and all that thing. Alright, so he also went for frisking, and finally what happened? Finally the examination is started. Now here Jackson put in a brief final appearance, behave yourself, lady. Now, children, lady means boy. Lady here means not lady, but lady here means boy. And children, he was given warning that he should behave properly. Nothing of such sort be done by him. Okay, that everybody has to lodge a complaint against him. Yvonne drew the razor carefully down his left cheek and left a neat swath in the white leather. Now, children, before starting the examination, he was bought a shaving. He was given a shaving cream, razor, and after shaving, he became a bit smart. And finally, both were introduced, and now the examination was going to start. Suddenly, I told you the governor also had this feeling that suppose if he will make posters to McClary, then what will happen? Okay. So, children, please come to page number 75, and from here, just one more thing. Got it, student? From here, just one more thing. It is almost the 3rd paragraph, and he is telling, yeah, what's at? So, see this English language, how he is telling. He is telling, yeah, what's at? That is, yeah, what's that? Its meaning is, yeah, yes, what's that? Good luck, old son. So he wished him good luck. In the little lodge just inside the prison main gate, the Reverend S. McClary signed his name neatly in the visitor books, and thence walked side by side with the silent prison officer across the exercise yard to DB. Well, children, the prison officer came, and children, he was greeted by Jackson. The wing's heavy outer door was unlocked, and locked behind them the heavy inner door the same. Now, children, two doors were there, both were locked. A special watch, and people were guarding him, people were watching him, they were having a hawk eyes, okay, upon him, and in this way the examination had started. Well, suddenly Jackson remembered that the razor is still inside from where the evil one had shaved. So he's telling, get the razor. Stephens nodded. Stephens also told, yes, we want the razor outside. Well, keep your eyes skin clear. Now he's telling he's keep your eyes open. Stephens nodded again, and McLeary, his feet clanging up the iron stair, followed his new guide and finally stood before a cell door where Stephens opened the peephole and looked through. That's him, sir. Okay. So finally, he was brought, he was introduced. Who? Uh, Stuart McLeary. Come back to page number 76. Children, it was at 9:10 a.m. when the governor switched on the receiver. He had instructed Jackson to tell Ivan of the temporary little precaution. Now, children, it was at 9:10 a.m. when the governor switched on the receiver. He had instructed Jackson to tell Evans of the temporary little precaution. So Evans was told to have some precaution. Now, the but wasn't it all a bit theatrical? Now he was feeling as if some drama is there. Everything he was thinking that why so dramatic, everything is there, so frisking and everything. Just like the schoolboy, one was given the instruction and all that blah blah blah, he was told. How on earth was Evans going to try anything on today? Now he started thinking, the governor started thinking that suppose Evans tries any tricks, then he told him how. Then he started thinking about the safety of the prisoner, that he might but not attack anyone. Okay, he might not run away. Then he started thinking that he cannot jump as the walls were very high of the prison. Okay, but wasn't it all a bit theatrical? Schoolboyish almost. How on earth was Yvonne going to try anything on today if he was so anxious to make another break? Why in heaven's name hadn't he tried it from the recreational block? Much easier, but he hadn't. And there he was now sitting in a locked cell. All the prison officers on the alert, two more locked doors between his cell and the yard, and a yard with a wall as a haystack. Haystack means a large piles of hay. Yes, Yvonne was as safe as houses. Now, children, Yvonne, okay, he was made. He was we were sitting in a very comfortable room, and the walls were very high, so nobody even thought that he would escape. He can escape from there. Anyway, it would not be any trouble at all to have the receiver turned on for the next couple of hours or so. Now, children, what happened? Here, the governor, he keeps his receivers on so that if any trouble is there, he could listen. Amongst other things, an invigilator's duty was to ensure that the restricted silence was observed, but still that little nagging doubt, might Evans try to take advantage of McLeary, get him to smuggle in a chisel or two or a rope ladder. Now, children, suddenly a thought came to Garner that suppose if Yvonne nag, or if he do take McLeary as an hostess, then what would happen? Well, when he thought this, he sat attentively. Sharply means attentively. It was all very well getting rid of any potential weapon that Yvonne could have used. Naturally, Yvonne had used many potential. He thought he might not use some potential weapon. But what about McLeary? What if quite unwittingly the innocent McLeary had brought in something himself, a jackknife perhaps, and what if Yvonne held a hostage with such a weapon? Okay, so he's telling Yvonne is telling that though he was acting, he was sitting and he was acting in a very nice manner. Well, and poor fellow McCleary, he was watching him, and nobody was thinking that anything would happen then. But this thought struck to Gardner that suppose if he had bought the jackknife or something like that. What is a jackknife? Children, the knife which can be folded and which can be taken out from the case. So perhaps, and what if Yvonne's held him hostage with such a weapon? So the main thing was that everybody was thinking that suppose if Yvonne will make him a hostess, then what will happen? The governor reached for the phone. It was 9:12 a.m. The examiner and the invigilator had already been introduced by Stephens when Jackson came back and shouted to McCleary through the cell door, "Can you come outside a minute, sir? You do, Stephens." Now, children, when this thought came to Gardner, what happened? He came, all right, and McCleary had bought in something himself, a jackknife perhaps, and what if Yvonne had a hostage with such a weapon? The governor reached for the phone. It was 9:12 a.m. The examinee and the invigilator had already been introduced by Stephens when Jackson came back and shouted to McCleary through the cell door, "Can you come outside a minute, sir? You do, Stephens." My children, for the governor, he had a doubt that suppose if he attacks, Yvonne attacks to the McCleary, then what will happen? Because nobody was allowed inside the cell. And he was thinking, suppose if he is not having any weapon, but if the governor is the McCleary is having any weapon, so he could have made hostage from that weapon. So he called both the officer and he told to frisk. Something hard here now while frisking. What is the meaning of frisking? Children, passed your hand over clothes to search for something. And when they were frisking his body like this, what happened? They found something hard. So what he told? He told this is a case for keeping the spectacles. My reading glasses. Ma is my reading glasses is telling. Replied McCleary, looking down at the spectacle case. And children, he started looking at the spectacle case. Jackson quickly reassured him and bending down on the landing thumb, flicked the catches of the suitcase. Flick means made something move with sudden quick movement. Now children, he started searching the suitcase. Okay, he was, and then what happened? We are here at page number 77. In the top right hand corner, write your index. No, yes, I was here. I'm going to start with page number 77. He picked up each envelope in turn, carefully passed his palms along their surface and seemed satisfied. Now, children, after that, he started looking at his suitcase, and whatever envelope was there, he started doing like this, so that if anything is there, any suspicious thing is there, it can come out. But then he seemed satisfied. He riffled curiosity through a few pages of fully read. Riffled means quickly turn over pages. The church time, all right so far. But one of the objects in McCleary's suitcase was puzzling him. So, children, one thing was there which was making him troubled. And what was that? Do you mind telling me what you have bought this, sir? He held up a smallish, semi-inflated rubber ring. Now, children, it was a rubber ring. Have you seen the rubber ring which the children put when they learn swimming? So, it was something like that only, okay? So, it was a ring which was put by the, it is put by the children when they learn swimming. So, that ring was almost similar to that. Now, what happened? Mr. McCleary, he felt bad. He told, oh, just read children this sentence. McCleary, hitherto. Hitherto means he is, hitherto please write. It is a word which we use in not present day English, it is not very common, but earlier when in the old English people used to use hitherto. Hitherto means before this. Amiable. Amiable means children friendly. Demanure means behavior. So before McClary was having a very friendly behavior with everybody, but was slightly ruffled by this tasteless little pleasantry. But now children, ruffled means slightly disturbed. He was disturbed when everybody was doing frisking, searching his suitcases, okay, doing frisking, asking him such a rubbish question like what this rubber is for, and then he told, let's see what answer he did. He told that if ye must know, I suffer from hemorrhoids, and when I'm sitting down for any length of time, and children could not complete his sentence. Now let me tell you children what is a hemorrhoid. Hemorrhoid means it is a disease and it is known by another word piles. In the common male language it is known as piles. Now children, piles is a disease when a person goes to a washroom to take out to through his fecal matter outside. Then what happened? Then bleeding is there when a person goes to the washroom for a potty or something like that, especially the old age person. So there is a blood from the from the place from where the fecal matter is discharged. Okay, so that disease is known as piles, and if a person will sit on the hard thing, okay, like the Western toilets are there, if he will sit there, he will have problem. So generally, a soft rubber is placed there, and the people sit there, and the bleeding is not there. So when the not the police, but when the officer, okay, when that officer, he was there, and when he had listened all this thing about hemorrhoid, he really was embarrassed, and he told, very sorry sir, I did not mean to means I did not mean to ask all this question, okay, but I have to because it was his duty. The embarrassment was still reddening Jackson's cheeks when he found the paper knife at the bottom of the case. Now, children, he was still feeling very embarrassed that why did he ask this person, this invigilator, about that disease, okay, about that rubber tube, but then it was his duty. Alright, and finally he found a paper knife at the bottom of the case. I think I would better keep this knife, though, if you don't mind, that is sir. Now he told me, I will give you that knife after when he will finish the examination. It was 9:18 a.m. before the governor heard their voice again, and it was clear that the examination was going to be more than a little late in getting underway. Now, children, at 9:15 the examination was supposed to be there, but it was 9:18, and still the examination was not started. So it was the governor who wanted to give signal so that they could start the examination. It was 9:18 a.m. before the governor heard their voice again, and it was clear that the examination was going to be more than a little late in getting underway. Since it started late, so definitely it will finish late. Okay, governor knew this thing. McLeary, you've got a watch now. Suddenly, children, the examination was almost going to start, and McLeary is asking, you have got a watch? Yvonne, yes sir, he told. Yes. McLeary, I will telling E when to start. E is you. Again, it is a Scottish accent. So he is telling, I will tell you when the examination is going to start, and when you have 5 minutes left, A right. Okay. So he is telling, I will tell you when the examination will start before 5 minutes, I will tell you. Silence. McLeary, there's a plenty more of this writing paper should you need it. Now he's telling, and I'm also having a plenty of paper, which E means you, which you needed. Whenever you needed it, I will give you. Again there was silence. McLeary. Now write the name of the paper 021-1 in the top left hand corner. Children, you have to learn all this word. Later you will note that how important these words were. Okay, so here McLeary is giving instruction that what should be written on the paper in the answer script. Before writing the examination, he is telling first you have to write the number 021 in the top left hand corner. McLeary, in the top right hand corner write your index number 313, and in the box just below that write your center number 271. A right. So he is telling that you will be writing in the top right hand corner write your index number 313, and in the box just below that write your center number 271. It's telling in the box you have to write all this number. This number is very important, children. You have to learn this number. At what he told that at the top right hand corner write to index number 313, and in the box just below that write to center number 271. A right. Okay. Again there was a silence. McLeary, I'm not going to. Yvonne, E is not going to stay. Is E. Now children, see the accent and try to understand the language. This is not purely an English language first of all. And it also proved that Yvonne was not purely English. He was having a German accent. So he was, or maybe the Scottish accent. So the way the manner he was speaking, it was having this accents. So instead of he is telling E, not going to stay is. I don't know about that. Mr. Jackson given me strict instruction to. Now he's telling McLeary, I don't know. That means he's asking if he's going to stay or not. Now children, who? Stephens. Okay, that officer, he was inside the cell. So what McLeary is asking? McLeary is saying to Yvonne that I don't know whether he is allowed to stay inside or not. Now let's see what Yvonne tell. How am I supposed to concentrate on my examination? So he's telling how I'm going to give my examination. How I'm going to concentrate on my examination with someone breathed down my neck. So he's telling that somebody is breathing down my neck and how I'm going to give my examination. Christ, sorry sir, I don't mean. And then suddenly he realized that it is the officer and he must not talk to him like this. He's telling, I think. Okay, he thinks that he should not have told him like that, and well, suddenly he asked sorry also from the officer. The governor reached for the phone. Jackson, good, getting Stephenson out of that cell. Will you? I think we are perhaps overdoing things. Now, children, the governor felt that it would be much more appropriate if he will take that officer outside. So the peaceful atmosphere will be there, so he can write the examination in a proper manner. So in this way, the student that McLeary, Yvonne, they were in one room, officer was sent outside, and finally what happened, children? He was ready to give the examination. He started writing his examination, and even Jackson, he followed the order. Okay, so now what happened? Let's see, the time is also there. The examination had begun at last. Finally, children, the examination it began. It was 9:25 a.m. and there was a great calmness was there. It was 9:25 a.m. At 9:40 a.m., the examination board rang thoroughly, and the assistant secretary with a special responsibility for modern language asked to speak to the governor. Now, at 9:40 a.m., the examination board rang through, and the assistant secretary with a special responsibility for modern languages asked to speak to the governor. Okay, so What happened, children? At 9:40. Now it was 9:25 a.m. and there was a great calm. Now he was writing. Nobody was there to disturb him. All the prison officers were signed outside. And see, let's what happened. 9:40 is the time you must remember. 9:40 a.m. The examination board rang through. Children, there was a phone call from the examination board. And the assistant secretary with a special responsibility for modern language asked to speak to the governor. And children, this time, remember, not the secretary. You have to underline this word. It is the assistant secretary who was asked to speak, okay, modern languages, and he was asked to speak to the governor. The examination had already started, no doubt, a quarter of an hour ago. Yes, well, there was a correction slip which some fool had forgotten to place in the examination package. Very brief. Put the governor, please. Now, children, what happened a quarter of an hour ago? Yes, well, there was a correction slip which some fool had forgotten to place in the examination package. Now, children, the phone call had come this time not of the secretary but of the assistant secretary, and he told that a fool, whoever has packed the envelope, he is the most foolish person, as he had forgot to put the correction slip. Now, children, first let me tell you what is a correction slip. Now, correction slip is a slip in which if anything is wrong in the question paper, so that thing is written in the correction slip and it is given to the invigilator, and finally the invigilator tells this thing to the examinee. So, children, this is the correction slip was there, and who rang this time? It was the assistant secretary. Yes, put the governor, please. Now he told me that somebody had not put it, and put the governor, please. Now he wanted that the governor should send somebody to collect that slip. Yes, of course, I will put you straight through to Mr. Jackson in D-Wing. Hold the line a minute. Now he's telling, I will just tell Mr. Jackson that he will be doing whatever instruction he will be getting, he will be doing according to that instruction he will act. Was this the sort of thing the governor had feared? Was the phone call a fake, some signal, some secret message, but he could check on that immediately. Well, let's see what happened. Children, was this the sort of thing that governor had feared? Now, children, governor was having a doubt. He was fearing. Okay, and what he was fearing? He was fearing that the phone call is fake. He was fearing that is this a phone call which is fake? It came afterward, and the thing was that it was who was talking. Secretary was not there, but it was the assistant secretary who was talking to him. Some secret message, and he thought, is this a phone call? Is it fake, or it is a secret message? Okay, but he could check on that immediately. He thought, okay, whatever, but he would be checking it. He dialed the number of the examination board, but only the staccato bleeps of a fine engage. Well, children, what happened? He thought, okay, I will ring them back, and then if they will pick the phone, definitely he will ask them some question, and in that manner he will come to know whether it was a fake slip or some type of message was there. Put the governor, please. Now the governor is telling, now children, he is in suspicion, and he decided that very soon he will be finding that thing. Well, 2 minutes later, he heard some whispered communication in the cell, and then McClary brought a spot voice. Now, children, the thing was that he started hearing in the phone that some conversation was going on. What do you mean by whisper conversation, children? Whisper conversation means that he heard that two people are talking in a very slow manner. But then he heard the Scott voice of McNary. Will you please stop writing a V while? Now, children, again, this is please underline this word V while. V while means a little while. Okay. Now he started giving instruction. He told that he can